Hello, good evening. Welcome to yet another week of Ask Me Anything. Okay, these sessions happen every Tuesday at 9 p.m. IST on my YouTube channel. Yeah, good evening, Kavita. Good evening, Kamalnath. Good evening, Krishna. Okay, so let's start. Yeah, Gauri, Saha, good evening. So let's start. Okay, so these are Ask Me Anything sessions. Okay, so today we are going to talk about incompatible foods, which Acharya Charaka has mentioned. He has mentioned 18 incompatible foods. Yeah, Raji, good evening. Okay, so let's go through that and then you can ask your questions. Okay, there you go. Virudha in Ayurveda. Virudha is basically incompatible. That means when few things are done together, it need not be only mixing of food. Sometimes, activities also become Virudha. We'll get into that one by one. Okay. So, Virudha is incompatibility. And 18 Viruddhas explained by Acharya Charaka. And even Ashtanga Hridaya also mentions Virudha. And treatment of how to manage Virudha also has been mentioned in Ashtanga Hridaya really well. Okay. So, let us get into this one by one. So I'm just going to touch all the 18 Viruddhas and you'll be able to understand because I've written it pretty simple for you. There you go. Desha Virudha. Desha means land. Okay. So, dry areas where it is extremely hot and dry and windy and all, if you start eating dry food, it becomes Virudha for you. Okay, or if it is a place which rains too much and it is very too much of kapha in that area, then you eating too much of kapha becomes Virudha for you. Okay, so that is Desha Virudha. Then Kala Virudha. Okay, Kala Virudha is in certain seasons you're not supposed to consume certain foods. Like in the summer, you're not supposed to consume spicy, sour and salty foods. So spicy, sour and salty foods become Virudha in the summer season. So Virudha is not only incompatible food combinations, okay, it is slightly more deeper than that. Then Agni Virudha. Okay, when you have eaten food and you're not hungry, but somebody gives you a biryani which is very tasty, you eat it. That is Agni Virudha. You don't have the appetite, but you're still eating it. Okay, Matra Virudha. What happens, quantity wise, so mixing equal quantities of honey and ghee is actually Virudha. So Matra means quantity. When you mix two with in the same quantity, it becomes Virudha. Okay. Then Satmya Virudha. Satmya Virudha, somebody is actually used to having spicy food. If you give him sweet food, or somebody is so used to having sweet foods, like people, Gujaratis, okay, what they do is their food is slightly bland and sometimes extremely sweet. They add sweet into most of things. If you expose them to spicy food, it becomes Virudha, Satmya Virudha. Then Dosha Virudha. Okay, so somebody who is basically Vata Prakriti person, but you give him foods and things which will increase his Vata a little bit more, that is Virudha. Okay, then Sanskara Virudha. Sanskara Virudha is cooking. Okay, if you heat honey is not supposed to be heated. Honey is not supposed to be consumed by somebody who is angry or who's gone out in the sun, whose bodies become very heat. So heat and honey don't go together. Okay, then Virya Virudha. Mixing fish or certain kinds of non-veggies as prawns and all those things with milk is extremely bad because milk is Shita Virya while fish is extremely Ushna Virya. So Virya Virudha things are not supposed to be mixed. Okay. Then what? You can start asking your questions. Okay. Koshtha Virudha. So, if a person, a Vata person is constipated, okay, to relieve his constipation, you should give something which is oily, because a Vata person will have dry gut. But if you are giving a dry purgative like a churna, triphala or something as a churna, it might not be good. It is basically viruddha. Okay, then avastha viruddha. Okay, that means what? After a person undergoes physical activities, what happens to him is the heat of the body goes up and the vata also goes up. So after that, having dry and spicy food immediately after exercise, that avastha is that situation is such that you are not supposed to have. That's why we say snigdha bhojani. A person who is exercising should have snigdha bhojana, not ruksha bhojana. Okay, then krama viruddha. Krama is order. Krama viruddha is if you take a shower immediately after a meal. That is viruddha. That is not good at all. You should not do one after the other. Okay. Then parihara viruddha. Parihara viruddha is, what happens is after certain foods, like, if you are somebody who takes wheat, you should drink normal water after wheat, not hot water. But if you are, but if you drinking hot water after eating, it could be pork or it could it consuming wheat, it is not considered to be pathya. It is viruddha. Okay, upachara viruddha. Same thing, if you drink cold water after consuming ghee, it will basically block your channels, and it will prevent the ghee from digesting. Then paka viruddha. Paka viruddha is the food is either undercooked or food is overcooked. Okay, it becomes paka viruddha. Samyoga viruddha, that means in combination. Anything sour or fruits with milk is not a good combination. Okay, then what? Hridaya viruddha. Hrid viruddha means, you are consuming things which you hate. Okay, that is also not good. That means, in the sense, when you talk about pathyam manasapriya, that which your heart goes to is basically pathya. Okay, rasapradhanam aharam. Aharam is something which has to be tasty, and if it's something which you don't like at all, eating that is also viruddha. That means, you know for a pure vegetarian person, if he is served meat and forced to eat meat, it is viruddha for him. Okay. Sampat viruddha. Sampat viruddha is basically, fruit which are unripe, or fruit which has rotten, overripe fruits, these are not supposed to be consumed. Then vidhi viruddha. Vidhi is certain rules which you have to follow. That means, it's just like, Sada, right? Eating food out in the open, talking and eating, and all those things are also considered to be viruddha. So Acharya Charaka has mentioned 18 viruddhas, and you have to understand that a lot of things are not good for your body, and slowly you have to come out of it. Okay, so managing viruddha is also a treatment. So all of us in this fast world do a lot of things thinking that those are healthy, but many a times those things are not healthy at all. Okay, and you will see a lot of fusion foods which are coming up, which sometimes you feel tasty, and viruddha is considered to be garavisha. That means it's slow poison. It's not that you eat once you're gonna die or something. So it is something, dosha utklesha. It creates accumulation of dosha. Okay, and it does not eliminate the dosha, so it stays in the body until it becomes poison after a point of time. Okay, so avoiding these are very, very important for health. Okay, so if you indulge in too much of viruddhahara, what happens? You get fever, jwara, ajirna fever, indigestion, worms, might be loose motions, grahani is IBS of conditions, or skin diseases, joint pains, and all those things. A lot of issues can actually come if you follow viruddhahara for a longer period of time. Okay, now, okay, you can ask your questions. So let us slowly start taking your questions. Hello world. Okay, for students living in the US, please give names of Indian vegetarian dishes which they can cook every day for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I think this is a question which you asked me last time also, and I was telling it depends from person to person. There is nothing like fixed. If you are from Kerala, then the breakfast, the lunch, and dinner you eat might be different. If you're from Gujarat, the breakfast, lunch, dinner you eat might be different. So it differs from person to person from what you are used to. Just try to find out what you are used to and start eating and cooking those foods. Hello world. Okay. Goat's milk is very smelly. How to remove the smell from the goat milk? Okay, you cannot remove the whatever smell the goat's milk has got is an innate smell. Okay, which some people like, some people don't like. It's again because you are not used to having goat's milk. You feel that the goat milk is actually smelly, but I would say sheep milk is even more smelly if you look at that way. So if you add sugar, sugar is one way in which you can reduce the smell and change the taste of goat's milk. Okay, but you can't remove the smell out of it. Is it compulsory to get married in order to maintain a health, or is it okay not to get married? Getting married or not is your choice. Okay, it is perfectly individual choice. There are a lot of people who are not married and much healthier than people who are married, and there are a lot of people who are married and also healthier physically, mentally, spiritually. It is a personal choice, and I would say follow what you feel like. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Okay, Raji Selva. Whenever I take a dash of lemon drizzle in warm water, I'm sneezing a lot afterwards. Same with amla, I get severe cold. So that means, Raji, that does not suit you. Amla rasa is not something that is suiting you really well. So I would say you can avoid it, or probably amla is actually good for health. You can add amla into the dishes which you cook instead of tamarind, or you can mix amla with your food. I mean, cooked amla with your food and have it. Probably once you cook amla, just try it out. If you cook amla, probably it might not cause that much of sneezing or running nose. Okay, cooking mellows down the effect of amla rasa. You can try it out. Add a little bit of salt, cook it, add a little bit of salt and have it. Check it out. Okay. Yeah, good evening, good evening. Soundarya. According to Ayurveda, is the churning of curd the only method to prepare ghee? Is there no mention of ghee made from the... Yes, yes, yes. You can actually make ghee also from the cream of milk. Okay, but the ghee or the butter which is extracted by churning the curd is considered to be superior because it has gone through the process of fermentation, while the cream of milk doesn't go through the process of fermentation. It is extremely heavy and it increases the kapha a little bit more than normal ghee. Okay, process is fine, but I would say the other one, which goes milk becoming curd, then it becoming slightly sour, you churning it, taking the butter out of it, melting it, and ghee, that is a better process. I have a recommended it's better to take ghee nutrition, but in a less quantity or the appropriate amount of ghee made with ghee. I think it is better to take ghee made with a traditionally churned butter. Okay, and I would say that butter might not be so good for you, but ghee would actually suit you if taken in small quantities. You can mix it with food and have. Okay, you don't have to take it as such. Okay, and once you get used to having the ghee, you can increase the quantity a little bit more and see. Okay, but ghee from churned curd might be better. If I Raji, if I take one amla on empty stomach, I'm getting severe cold after it. Same lemon, I am sneezing to what might be the reason? How can I incorporate? I think I have already answered that, Raji. Okay, I would say, rather than having it raw, try to cook and have it with a little bit a dash of salt. I think that might actually solve your issue because your body is not able to process that sour taste. So once that sour taste is cooked, okay, what happens is cooking makes it easier to digest and assimilate. So you might not find a problem with it. So try it out and let us know. Are cane and palm jaggery compatible to be cooked in milk, or is it always Veera Virudha? It's used in payasam, but not sure it actually curdles when cooking itself or becomes Virudha later in the stomach. See, milk and sugar, jaggery might not be a very good thing because it can break the milk. Okay, so but if you cook milk with sugar, it is not at all a problem. Okay, and if you look at certain things, Viruddhahara, as I said before, Viruddha, it becomes Viruddha only if you consume it regularly. That's why you see most of the foods which you eat on festivals, the sadhya or the feast itself is Viruddha. Okay, you're having it probably once in 3 months or once in 6 months when it used to be like that, but the body is able to handle it. Nowadays, what is happening? We are getting exposed to Viruddha Ahara every other day or every other meal. That is where the problem is. Okay, we are dependent more on fusion foods or junk foods nowadays rather than cooking simple food at home. Okay, so payasam, sometimes you add jaggery into payasam and all those things. Yeah, parvanam, we call that. You put it for puja and have it. It happens once in a while during festivals. But now you're having it every other day, you know, that might not be good. But adding sugar to milk is perfect. Okay, you wanna have a look at parihara. Okay, where is that? Where is that? Okay, so okay. Basically, if you look at parihara is where is it? 1 second. Okay, so parihara is basically the how do you counterbalance it? How do you manage it? Like if you take wheat should basically be followed by cold water. Okay, so that is what the anupana of wheat is. If you drink hot water, then it might not be good for you. Likewise, so that's what I said. If you drink uh, cold water after pork, might not be a good thing. You should probably drink hot water after consuming pork. So something that is what you mean by parihara. You have had something which is heavy. Then how do you manage that parihara? Okay, so sorry, there you go. How do you explain parihara? Okay, so if you have had wheat, as I said, it's always good for you to drink cold water on top of wheat rather than drinking hot water. So how do you manage that food? That is what is meant by parihara. Is milk traditionally mixed with warm spices or cooked vegetables as a gravy? It's more prevalent in North Indian recipes used in sabji like pumpkin, bottle gourd, etc. I know, but if you look in most of the uh, cooking, we don't add milk. Milk is not supposed. So what happens here is you also do the seasoning. After that, you add oil into it. You add mustard into it. A lot of things, tadka and all those things, which might not be a good thing. You see that the milk actually breaks. Okay, in my opinion, that might not be a very good practice. But you can add buttermilk. That is not a problem. But adding milk into vegetables while cooking, and especially if the vegetable is slightly sour, and you might add sour things also. I don't know. Anything which can break the milk is what they mainly mean by, you should not add anything sour to milk. Anything that can break the milk might not be very good to consume. We eat in the oven, etc. I know. Yes, Vidhi. It basically means that don't eat in open air. Don't stand and eat. Okay, don't walk and eat. Don't there's you should not crowd yourself and eat. That means, people without your space. You should not eat alone. That's also there. And there are a lot of vidhis as far as food goes. You should eat only after you have fed all the people dependent on you. That means your wife, your children, your servants, your pets, the trees, the gardeners, all those people. After you have seen that they've all fed. So vidhi is something. There are a lot of rules which have been laid down. Okay, after offering to the gods, after offering to the ancestors, after offering to beggars who are out there, after that only, all these are vidhi. Okay, so if you follow that, it will be actually good. So eating in open air has never been considered to be healthy. Yes, more than cancer, fibrosis. Okay, because of pigeon droppings. Um, so normally what happens here, Aditya, that until and unless the condition really progresses, we are not able to catch the problem. Okay, the people end up with severe breathing issues, and the body is such that it tries to manage small, and it doesn't happen overnight, right? So slowly your lung capacity starts going down, and then after a point of time, you suddenly realize you might probably go for a regular checkup and a TMT, and you're not able to walk, or you're climbing stairs and suddenly you gasp for air. So your discovery is sometimes very sudden. By the time you take an X-ray or an MRI and see, you'll notice that one lobe of the lung has been completely fibrosed or affected. So surgical removal is the major, I think, solution for that. That's what you have to do. Preventing that is preventing is that you should see that you don't have too many pigeons around your house, droppings, and it's got all those fleas coming out of it, feather, and a lot of things can become allergic to the body. So avoiding the causative factor is important, right, Aditya? So no picnics in the park in summer. Cynthia, yes, I think probably I've poured water on the fun. See, Cynthia, when you look, as I said, when you look at Virudha is something that does not happen one time. Okay, if you keep on doing activities over and over and over and over, when it becomes a regular part of your lifestyle, then only it becomes Virudha. So you going out for a picnic once in 3 months and going and eating outside might not be a problem. Okay, hope you're able to understand that. So mixing what you call smoothies, people put all kinds of vegetables, all kinds of fruits, leaves, and all those things, and they beat and they probably drink that smoothie. Once you start doing that regularly, consistently, that can actually lead to blockage of all the micro channels. That's when it starts becoming Virudha. But once in a while, you went out, you had only a smoothie, you had probably your last smoothie you had 6 months back, and you had a smoothie, that might not be a problem. But you should understand, the moment it goes inside, it starts becoming heavy. The next meal or something, go a little bit light. Okay, understanding your body is very important. Uh, yeah, Kamalnath, no, see, when you look at Anupana, Acharya says that after wheat, what you drink is normal water. It's not cold water. What you drink is Shita Jalam. Shita Jalam does not mean fridge water. Shita Jalam is normal water. Okay, so the reason, rice, after rice also, normally we say after meal also we drink warm water is fine, but not too hot. Okay, so when you drink hot water, I personally feel that when you drink hot water after wheat, okay, wheat starts becoming too gooey. Okay, so that might create Virudha. I don't know, probably those studies have to be done whether the gluten or something comes out of wheat when you add heat or when you add hot water on top of it when it is digesting. So I'm not sure why that has been mentioned completely, but I personally feel that it becomes extremely gooey. Like, even same thing has been told about you are not supposed to mix meat and black gram. Okay, urad. Okay, meat and milk, fish and urad. So urad is also something which, the moment it goes inside, it becomes extremely gooey and sticky. So I think even for wheat also, the moment you start drinking hot water, it can break it and it can cause gooiness. So that's one reason why Acharya has told not to drink hot water on top of wheat. Why can't we drink water after eating a banana? Gauri, I have not heard about that. You can drink water after eating a banana. It's not at all a problem, but don't beat that banana with milk. You know, you are not supposed to. Ashtanga Hridaya says nothing sour or no fruit to be mixed with milk. But drinking water might not be a problem. Can you explain about Amavata? Okay, see, when you ama is something which is undigested food. Okay, ushmano alpabalatvena dhatupakamapachitam. Okay, ushmano means heat. Alpabalat, when the heat of metabolism, metabolic heat or the digestive capacity of each and every cell is actually low. What happens is undigested, not complete, it's not completely digested. That release is slightly on the higher side. That means we can, you may call it dosha or whatever, we call that ama. That means that which undigested food, it can dhatu not only in the stomach, okay, throughout the body. And when those get accumulated, it depends upon weak portions. If somebody is you what do you call cycling too much or climbing what do you call stairs a bit too much, he might have problems with the knees. That means the knee can become a slightly weak point. So this toxins get accumulated in your weak point. It can be your fingers, or it can be your toes, it can be any joint. Okay, there you'll see swelling, and you'll see a little bit of heat, and you'll see stiffness in the joint. Okay, and it is based, so ama is basically undigested. That means there is a lot of kapha in that, and if you apply oil on that, you will see that the pain actually goes up, discomfort goes up. So the initial approach is not to apply oil or keep anything oily thing inside. It is basically to increase the agni, cut down on the amount of food you eat. Okay, go low, and then try to go for more of digestive things like, pepper or whatever it is for a longer period of time, and see that this ama pachana happens. That means the digestion of all the accumulated amas happen over a period of time. Okay, then you'll notice that slowly heaviness of the body and all those things will slowly start going down. Okay, so that is how we approach amavata, and the treatment procedure is very effective. How do you differentiate between atisara and ajirna? Ajirna is not able to digest. Okay, that means your digestive capacity has gone down. And atisara is ativa saranat atisara. That means you have got excessive flow. That means it's loose motions. So ajirna can probably lead to loose motions, but all ajirnas need not reach loose motions. Loose motions is loose motions. You're having loose motions. That is atisara. Okay, so there are two different things. Even though they certain times they are related, one can lead to the other one. Okay, but both are different things. Okay, ajirna is indigestion, atisara is loose motions. These days, lot of people replace cream with dahi while cooking. Is this safe cooking practice? I don't know which is better, cream or dahi. Okay, if you look at milk, is not something which is very good. If you look at cream, cream might be from the milk. Milk is not might be not very good to use while cooking your veggies and all those things. But buttermilk, dahi, I'm not very sure, but buttermilk is something which can be cooked. That is not a problem. There are a lot of places throughout India where you can see cooked buttermilk. In up north you see something called curry or something, and down north you have got more koramba. Cooking buttermilk is fine, but curd and milk while cooking, I'm not very sure. Okay, it is fine to buy organic pure ghee online. I get it from Netherlands. I live in the UK. Oh, Gauri. Yes, if you're sure it is pure organic A2 ghee, I would say it is good for you to buy it. Absolutely no issues. I've made marinated chicken with dahi in all my life. What will that be, Satmya, or should I stop it now? Okay, if you have marinated chicken with milk, I would say you should be stopping it. But dahi, I would say, and one thing is that, Gauri, how many days in a week do you consume this food? Okay, if you're something who has been consuming it every day, that doesn't mean that it will not have its bad effects. Okay, Gauri, but I would say you can slowly reduce the amount of number of times you actually marinate your chicken in curd. Okay, and if Satmia is something, yes, I do say Satmia plays a big role, but Satmia is only when it works really well when you are somebody who does physical activities really well, when your digestive power is very good, when you are strong, okay, youth. But as you grow old, your digestive capacity goes down, your strength goes down, you might not be doing so much of exercises. These might create problems later. So I would say you can reduce it, okay, and slowly try cooking it the other way around. Milk is considered controversial for many reasons these days. Is it okay to give to my little grandson the night before bed? He's a big foodie and eats whenever we give. Sankriti, Sanskriti yoga. So, um, milk, in my opinion, has been made controversial. Milk as such is good, but you should know the source of your milk. You know what kind of milk you are giving your child. Apart from that, milk by and large is not bad. Okay, if you know the source, milk is good. And as far as the kids go, I let me put it this way. Okay, milk can be given to children because children, when they're hungry, they can drink milk and get happy. When they're thirsty, also they can drink milk and get happy. So milk can be given to children, but I would say, being as a kid, being more in the kapha stage of life, milk would be better to be given in the morning because they've got the whole sun out there to help them digest the milk. Giving a child milk at night might sometimes lead to cough, cold, breathing issues. Can. But for an elderly person, you can give milk at night so that he'll sleep peacefully. Okay. I would say if you know what the source of milk is, you can give your grandchild. Absolutely no problem. Suma, does skin disease occur only because of Virudha or can it also be genetic? Genetic is always a cause for a lot of issues. Okay. But when we start Ashtanga Hridaya, when he starts explaining Kushtha or skin disease, he starts Mithyahara Viharena Visheshena Virodhina. For skin issues, the main reason is Viruddhahara, is what Acharya says. Okay. Over a period of time, it can lead. But as I said, your lifestyle is one thing which can lead to skin issues. But genetically, yes, eczema, psoriasis, and a lot of things do come genetically. But stress is also one factor which can lead to a lot of skin issues. Okay. But yes, Viruddhara contributes. Is ghee made from commercially available slabs of butter beneficial to consume? Um, Divya, I understand your question. If you look at, nowadays, a lot of things, I don't know how to tell this, but let me try to put it from the Ayurvedic point of view. How you do it, you can take a call. The word for butter is Navanita. Okay. When you mean by Navanita, that means freshly. Nita means drawn. Okay. Something which has been freshly taken is Navanita. That's all. Okay. And what you do is you drop it in water for some time. You clean it. And then if you want to use it as butter, you immediately use it. But if you feel that you might not be able to completely consume that butter, you heat it, melt it, and then make it ghee. Okay, but that means freshly taken is only Navanita. If you leave it for might be a day or so, it is not Navanita anymore. It becomes Purana. Okay, it starts becoming sour. Distaste starts with butter when it is kept for long. But whatever is commercially available right now, it is frozen. You might have preservatives in it. People add salt into it as preservatives, and they preserve it for months together before it actually reaches you, and then you melt and make ghee out of it. I don't want to comment whether it is good or bad, but this is what Navanita is all about as far as Ayurveda goes. Freshly taken butter is Navanita, not the slabs which probably has been sitting in the freezer for a few months. Okay, it's fine, but if you have got a choice of taking this would be healthier. Anubhav. So I have psoriasis. I take Manjisthadi, Quath, Kaishor, Google, Manibandara, Triphala, Google, but my face and scalp is not overcome. I think we had this discussion long back, Anubhav. I think you have to get to the root of what is happening, as even as far as your food goes, and all those things have to be taken care of. You have to get into a detailed consultation and try to find out what are the contributing factors, as the previous asked, what whether what you can happen because it is genetic or not. Suma Narayanan had that question. So it can be a lot of reasons. So if you have not handled the causative factors, first thing, and second thing is that skin disease is not something which is easily manageable. You will have to do a lot of shodhana for it. Might be Vamana, Virechana, whatever it is. It has to be taken step by step. Okay. And can I take hot lemon water at empty stomach in the morning? Okay, I don't advise anybody to take lemon water on empty stomach, because lemon water, if you look, it is ushna, it is acid, it is citric acid, and when your stomach is empty, you don't have anything else in your stomach. I don't want you drinking citric acid on empty stomach. Okay, but if you're so fond of having a lemon water, probably have it immediately on top of food or along with food, but not on empty stomach. Lifelong, if I stop taking sugary stuff, is it healthy? Raji, I would not say it is going to be unhealthy at all. Okay, I don't want you to stop Madhura, but Madhura is the taste Madhura. Okay, rice is sweet. Okay, moong is sweet, ghee is sweet, milk is sweet. Those are not sweetened things. Okay, so lifelong, if you stop sugary stuff, in the sense, if you stop sweetened things like laddu, jalebi, kheer, all those things, ice creams and all those things, you will be extremely healthy. Absolutely, don't worry at all. But you can have rice. You should have sweet things like rice, fruit, ghee, vegetables, and all those things which are sweet. Okay, but you can stop sweetened. Is Amul cow ghee good choice? Yes, if you feel that is the only thing that is available where you are, then I think it is better to have Amul rather than not having ghee. Okay, but Amul cow ghee, yes, comes from Gujarat. It has to be good. Okay. Please share the Instagram link of making buttermilk. Searched a lot in your account, couldn't find it. Sorry for trouble. I had shared it, but let me see how now I have to go and start searching for it. Okay, I will try searching it, and I don't know where to put it now. Okay, so let me see how I can get it for you. How to balance vata during monsoon season? Monsoon season is a season where your vata, all the three doshas go for a toss. Okay, to a sudden rain, the kapha slightly goes up, and the vata goes up a little bit, and your digestion also not good. So, but you have got more of vata imbalance. So, I would say for you to manage that, stay warm most importantly, and also you are not supposed to consume too much of heavy foods which digest pretty fast, because sometimes because your digestion or your appetite is many a times unpredictable during the monsoon season. So it is good that you have light food, predominantly oily and sweet, not sweetened, but rice, wheat, moong, ghee, and all those things which are sweet to taste. Okay, and I don't want you to do too much of exercise during monsoons. I want you to apply oil on your body and take a shower on a regular basis. Sleep well. Okay, if you feel like sleep catching up with a small nap in the afternoon, most welcome. Okay, sleep well at night also. Don't overexert yourself. How many hours later can I go for a shower after eating a meal? Generally, okay, it depends upon your digestive power, but generally, I would say just give a gap of at least 2 hours. Okay, to be on the safer side. 1.5 might be okay, but I would say 2 hours would be safe. Um, which channels are blocked by regular smoothie drinking? I drank smoothies daily for years, and my asthma relapsed. Yeah, Gauri. There, when you say channels, especially all the channels, you have got micro channels, srotas we call that. Especially it starts from the stomach, and then from there it will get into every dhatu. From rasa, rakta, mamsa, meda, asthi, majja, it can block all the channels. So what happens is, as you said, when it blocks all the channels, there's a lot of accumulation of ama. When a lot of accumulation of ama happens, kapha goes up, and when kapha goes up, there is a block to the normal movement of vata. Okay, and that is one reason probably your asthma relapsed, because vata anuloma, the pratiloma movement of vata is basically asthma. Okay, and I think I'm not very sure, but smoothie would have definitely contributed to your asthma because of blocking. It can block all channels, but it's a slow step. It blocks your rasa first, then the recta, then the mamsa, and slowly it gets into your dhatus. Okay, and the kapha goes up, and then you'll find difficulty in breathing. Okay. Oh, where did it go? Sorry. Uh, is fruit and starch virudha, like putta and banana, for example? I don't think so. Okay, fruit and starch, putta and param is, in my opinion, is not viruddha at all. That means it is basically rice and fruit. Okay, both are sweet in taste, not a problem. Even putta and milk might not be a problem. Okay, so but if you mix uh, puttu and milk and then add appalam into it, papadam into it, then that's a problem because it's got black gram. Okay, so you should be slightly careful, but mixing rice and fruit, banana especially, I don't think that's a problem. Most welcome. Egg as a breakfast item, eggs are actually good, but I don't want you to overdo it, because egg is not something which can digest pretty fast. If you are somebody who does regular exercises, then yes, you can have eggs on a regular basis. and go for exercises. But if you're somebody who's sedentary, just for protein, which you see right now, that for this much of body weight you have to have this much of proteins, I don't think that is necessary. That's my personal opinion. Okay, you don't have to consume so much of protein if you are not doing so much of physical activity to digest that protein, because protein is not very easy to digest. But when you're eating that egg, probably you can have maybe one egg per day, or might be three eggs per week or something. Okay, eat it along with the yellow. I don't think you have to throw the yellow out and eat only egg white. But if you're you have seen people eating 10 eggs, 20 eggs, 30 eggs per day, people who really work out in the gyms. I don't know what are the side effects that are going to happen after 5 or 10 years down the line. But I would say it's always good, Sanskriti, hit the middle path and don't overdo things. Okay. Kamalnath, I watched your jet lag video. Could you please talk about ghee with milk? Okay, ghee with milk, both are actually vata pittahara. Okay, when you are flying long distance, that's what I always do. And see, again, less than a month, I'm going to fly to JFK from New Delhi non-stop. That is what I normally do. I take about 25 grams of ghee, and I drink might be about 100 ml or maybe 200 ml of hot milk on top of it. So that basically keeps my vata under control. And I always see that whenever food is supplied on the flight, I eat food. Okay, I don't skip my food just thinking that the food is not healthy. Food might not be as healthy as what you cook at home, but the process of eating actually controls vata and gets the kapha slightly higher. Okay, as much as possible, alcohol might not be a very good choice for you to consume. Okay, drinking enough water, eating food, and then taking rest is very important. Okay, and as you land, it's always good for you to apply oil on your body, wait for about 45 minutes, take a warm shower, not a hot water shower. If you take a hot water shower, the kapha goes down again. Okay, and then again might be about, I drink at least 250 ml of warm milk, might be a tablespoon of ghee on top of it, and I drink it. Okay, I'm ready to work after that. What are the other alternative foods or kitchen spices to manage jet lag or vata? See, spices, if you look, all spices are something which will increase your pitta. Okay, and they might not be very good. Anything that will increase your pitta will definitely reduce your kapha. What I want you to do is to get that kapha up slightly. Okay, that is the reason why I've been focusing on, you can mix rice with curd and eat. So Taif sadam is actually very good. Okay, suppose you're taking a night flight and you know that you're not going to sleep really well. Mixing curd with rice and having at night, it is not recommended, but having that just for that flight will actually keep you grounded. Because you know that you're not going to lie down and sleep. Your sleep is going to be broken. Something that will increase a little bit of tamas in your body is actually good. That means that will have a little bit of sthira guna is very important. Spices might not help you in that. On holidays, you get huge breakfast spreads globally and food with eggs, sausage. This goes for a week. Should this be stopped? I was just having this talk today with a group of people. Normally, people have hectic work, and they don't eat on time, and they eat all junk food, and they're so stressed. And what happens? They say, "Now come, let's go for a vacation for a week." They take a vacation for a week, and they go to as you said, to a 5-star hotel or somewhere, booked everything, and they get even more stressed because probably the toilet paper was not good, or the bed sheet was not that's the way they thought it is. The bed is not river facing, or sea facing. Super stressed because you're paying, you want to get the best service. So you are actually not relaxed when you go for a vacation, and you drink, you smoke, you eat all kinds of food, and at the end of the day, you being at work and Okay, doing things what you are doing on a regular basis was much better than you taking that vacation. That vacation was more stressful and you ate more junk and your lifestyle was even more bad than what you were when you were working. So Gauri, I think that's the way the life is right now. When you take a vacation, you should basically go to a simple thing, rather than going for the this kind of costly vacations. That's a different thing. That's not a break from work. That is a vacation, where you go and you spend more time eating, doing even more bad things than you regularly do. Okay, so you should be mindful as to what's happening with your body. Is there any way to clear undigested food by homemade churnams? See, homemade churnams, yes. If you consistently drink water processed with dry ginger, chukualam we call that, you will over a period of time you will slowly release the ama. But what you eat also should be in align with that, because you are drinking this to burn ama, but you're again eating bread, idli, and stuff which will again increase the ama. Okay, so your input of ama creating things should go down, and your other things which will burn the ama can go up. Okay. You have advised earlier to have fruit when the sun is up. Let's say for people who are fasting, is it okay to have a small meal of a fruit once a while? See, in the sense you are not on a complete fast. That's what I understand from this. Okay. So that means you are on Langhana. You have cut down on things. So I feel if you are fasting, I don't want you to have fruit once in a while. Have fruit a little bit in the morning and probably a little bit in the evening. Don't keep on eating fruit once in a while. Then your body is still digesting all those things. Every 1 hour, if you eat a small piece of fruit, your body is doing the process of digestion. It does the purpose of fasting is basically lost. Okay, so if you want to have a fruit, a small piece of fruit, have a little bit in the morning, leave it, and have a little bit in the evening, forget it. Okay, don't have multiple times. According to our body weight, we do have to consume a protein or whatever we eat, South Indian meal in a daily basis. See, I personally feel, if you look at just look around yourself, okay, just look at your parents, your grandparents, or uncles, and all those people. I don't think they have consumed so much of protein, but by and large, I would say they're still healthy. Okay, and health is not about having a six pack. They're able to walk and do all their activities. So just because you eat too much of protein doesn't mean that you are going to be extremely healthy. This protein also has to be digested and it has to be expelled from the body by the kidneys. Overload, too much of kidneys is also bad for too much of protein is also bad for the body. Okay, there are a lot of studies on that also. And if you're somebody who's doing bodybuilding, and if you're taking proteins for muscle, again, I can say that, we have got a lot of tissues in the body. Rasa, rakta, mamsa, meda, asti. You are focusing only on the mamsa dhatu or the muscle. Okay, what about other things? If you're having a predominantly protein food, you are only focusing on the muscles. What about other parts of the body which also required? They require carbs, they require fat. Lot of things the body needs, right? So don't go unbalanced. Okay, let us hit the middle path, Raja. Okay. Is egg fried rice with peas okay? I am not very sure about that, Gauri. So let me put it very clearly. For me, if I'm not sure whether it is okay or not, I consider it to be not okay. That is my personal approach. Okay. If I'm not sure whether it is Virudha or not, I consider it to be Virudha. Okay. I would not eat this. Okay. That's all I can tell you. Please suggest ideal breakfast for Pitta Vata Prakriti doctor. Okay, if you are somebody who consumes rice, okay, anything made of rice then and there, or even wheat then and there is actually good for you. Milk is actually good for you. Ghee is good for you. You don't have to think too much. Khichdi is very good for you. Okay. What else do you want? Poha is good for you. Poha, a little bit of poha in milk is also fine for you. Okay. Is omelets with milk bread safe? I don't think so. Bread is something, if basically you are from the Indian subcontinent and going and live in, you said you are living in the UK, right? I don't consider bread to be a very healthy food because it is pishtanam, it is ground and fermented food. When you consume it on a regular basis, as I said, it can block all the channels. See, look at this very clearly, Gauri. Whatever you prepare then and there is actually healthier for you. I do understand. Probably you might be working, your husband might be working, a lot of people, you might not have enough time to cook a lot of things and have fresh food. But still, I would say fresh food, I don't have to say this, all of us know that fresh cooked food is definitely healthier than you carrying forward something from the previous day. That's why dosa and idli is not considered to be healthy as far as Ayurveda goes. You're carrying forward the batter, right? The fermented foods. Okay. Nothing frozen is actually healthy, but if you want to eat it, you can eat it. Okay, it will increase your vata a little bit more than normal. I don't consider it to be very healthy as such. Okay. You mentioned about dry ginger water. People who have acidity issues with ginger water, what should they do? See, if you have got acidity issues, then you might not be somebody who would have too much of ama also. Okay, and if you then your issues might be slightly different. That is that you might be having amalapitta. That's a different issue altogether. I think we talked about ama there. Okay, these are two different conditions. Does eating eggs increase vata in our body? I don't think so. Yeah, just eating eggs will increase vata in our body. It will definitely increase your kapha in the system because it is heavy to digest and it is not something which is very easy to digest and it will release a lot of gas. Okay, that doesn't mean that your vata is going up. The body is finding it difficult to digest. If you're somebody who does regular exercises, eating eggs would be a good choice. Virudha, ahara and apatya, how both the terms are same or different? Apatya need not be virudha. Okay, in the sense, for example, milk is supposed to be pathya to be consumed on a regular basis. Okay. But in certain conditions, suppose you have got cough and you have got phlegm, then we say, milk is apatya in that specific condition. Pathya apatya is normally in that specific condition. Okay. Virudha, anytime, when you take that combination or that thing is actually not good for you. So pathya depends upon condition. Something which is pathya to be consumed on a regular basis can be apatya in certain conditions. Okay. Link for buttermilk. Yes, it is actually in Malayalam. Okay, it is my helper at home, Valsara, who's explaining how to curdle milk and how to, churn a curd and make buttermilk out of it. It is in Malayalam, but we have got English subtitles to it. Is it okay to eat one tomato as a salad? Every day? I don't know. Salad is. I'm not a big fan of salads. I would say anything that is cooked is easier to digest. Okay, so let us not get too much into eating salads and staying healthy. There are a lot of people who have shifted to uncooked foods and have fallen sick. People who have completely avoided carbs and fallen sick. So let us not tilt the balance, especially what we are used to something. Let us eat what we are used to. Every day morning would like to have ginger water. How much ginger I can intake? I don't think you have to have ginger water on empty stomach. Okay. I would say just normal water would be enough for you to start the day. As I said, ginger water is not something which cools the system down. You just like lemon water. I would say let us not have ginger water on empty stomach. Have warm water. Then throughout the day you can have at the ratio of half teaspoon to probably 1 liter of water. You can boil the water, and then you can have that throughout the day when you are probably immediately after meals or something. Okay. How is non-veg biryani, doctor? Can we eat once a week? Many tasty non-veg recipes ask for curd and khoya, etc. Not sure it's Virudha, but once a while I feel like eating such food. Go ahead and eat, Priya. Okay. Go ahead and eat, but once a week, I don't know. It again depends upon what kind of a lifestyle you. If you're probably sedentary, I would say it will be good if you eat only once a month. And if you're somebody who does exercises regularly, who really burns everything out, and you're strong enough, you are young, okay, then probably once in 2 weeks and all those things, eating a biryani is fine. I think you are more focused on the taste rather than the health part of it. Okay. In my opinion, biryani is not a healthy food. I don't eat non-veg, so when I say veg biryani, people make fun of me. Such a thing does not exist at all. It's called pulav. That's why they make fun of me. So I don't think it has to be extremely healthy. Okay, it's an easy way of cooking in those days, because you know how cooking evolved over a period of time, because you have to cook the meat separately, you have to cook the rice separately, you have to cook the vegetables separately, all those things have to cook separately. But somebody, put everything in one vessel, closed it and started cooking it, added everything into it and started making it tasty, and that's how biryani evolved. So I don't know whether that can be called extremely healthy. Yes, it is tasty once in a while, fine, no problem. Half a teaspoon of dry ginger to 1 liter of water would be the combination for you to drink water. Okay. So I think we are done with all the questions. Thanks a lot. Next week we can meet with some other question. Gauri, egg fried rice, is it combination? No, see, Gauri, if you look at just now I explained right about chicken biryani itself. Why do you want to put everything into one thing and cook? You're adding rice, you're adding vegetable, you're adding eggs, you are adding veggies, you add everything into. It's an easy way of cooking. I would say when you eat one thing at a time, the body is able to handle that better. I hope you're able to understand that. Okay, I don't say whether egg fried rice with veggies is bad or not, but I would say, why do you want to cook like that and eat? That's my question. It's easy for you. I know cooking fried rice is very easy. You have put all vegetables inside it. You have put the rice also into it. You have put the egg also into it. You have added masala also into it, and you serve it. It's easy for somebody to eat. It is something which has come out. I don't want to use that word, but it is something which an innovation that has come out of laziness. Otherwise, you have to cook the vegetables separately, you have to cook the rice separately, you have to cook the other one separately. Now you're cooking everything together, and try to make it tasty. Need not be healthy. Okay. I'm realizing that many tasty food out there are not healthy. Priya, I understand, but I don't want you to feel guilty, because there's something called Pathyam Manasa Prem. You have to like what you're eating also. So that doesn't mean, see, I always say most of the foods which are tasty are not healthy. That doesn't mean, so you should cultivate of cook simple things. Don't have to put everything into one dish. You add this, you add that, you add this, you add this, make it a combination, and don't do that. You eat one thing a day, next day you eat the other thing, next day you eat the other thing. Body knows what to take from what you're eating. You don't have to mix everything and give the body and complicate things. Okay. Thanks a lot. Good night. Most welcome, Gauri.